Hello, welcome. Oh, my kitty's up there. That's so cute. That's Boudica. Thank you for joining me today. I'm going to do a reading for the full moon in Cancer, which is today or yesterday, depending on where you're at in the world. And I didn't think I was going to do a reading this week. I just didn't think I was going to have time. And I've been in this really sort of like actually Cancerian energy, just feeling super inward and like kind of like that weird voidy feeling that I'm a Capricorn, so I've always felt Cancer moons, like I'd feel a certain energy and be like, oh my god, I bet it's a Cancer moon, and I'd look and sure enough it was. Like you just feel vulnerable, you don't want to leave your house, you just like, but also really nesty. Like I've been going through, I keep talking about this in all the videos, I'm still purging my house. And so last night I went through all my books, like from the last 20 plus years, and I'm gifting all of them to the local bookstore here, and I've saved maybe like 10 of them. But it's like chronicling, like looking through your books is like chronicling your life, because you see like what you were focused on here. There was a phase of like all kids books, all crafts, and then there was the gardening phase, and then there was the esoteric phase, which I guess I'm still in, but anyway, just seeing how your consciousness and your interests and what you're drawn to changes. And so I'm getting rid of all of them. It's like I've either already read them or I've never read them. And if I've never read them, then, time's up. We're not a match, And so anyway, but just, it was kind of nostalgic is what I'm saying. It's like just kind of visiting the past and like, just watching it all and, getting rid of like kids stuff and like the last of the toys that I was saving for whatever reason. And, just so I've been doing this purge for about a month now, and I'm just getting to the stuff that's really stirring up a lot of, kind of like, memories, the nostalgia, which is very Cancerian. So I think it's interesting. I did that pretty much like with the full moon, Christmas evening for me after I got back from the desert house. And so anyway, yeah, just feeling like that real sort of like almost like I'm in the womb, like I'm nesty and I feel very held, but I also feel like just all this potency of what's after all these purges, So I'm kind of wondering if that's a collective energy, or if it's just me. So that's part of why I want to read today. I just want to see. Oh wow. Oh my gosh. Okay. So the overall energies, they just popped right out. The very first one is also the card that I got this morning. It's a number 5 card, which is one of change, eagle, spirit. Spirit has your back. Okay, so like big moves right now, big moves of change. The card that it comes out with is a 6 card, which for me is always about manifestation and grounding. This is Otter Spirit. You are never alone, but you can see there are these 2 otters. So this also for me always often presents as a 2 of Cups type of energy. So if you listen to the last 2 sort of collective card readings that I've done, that 2 of Cups and the soulmate energy keeps coming up. It keeps coming up. So I'm just noticing it again as the one of the overall energies of this time right now. Spirit has your back. So this being a card of change, right, with the 5, and this being a card of manifestation with the 6. That's how it feels to me. That's how it presents to me. The 6 is grounding, 6 of Pentacles, the reward for hard work put in. So that's interesting. Let's pull some more and see. Yeah, it just feels like such a pregnancy of newness, come wrapping up this year. Of course, that's symbolic, coming to the end of the year, your New Year's resolutions, starting with a clean slate. But there is something definitely to the energy, the energetics. It's not just something we do because it's habit or culturally that's what we do. There is something to the energetics and the astrology as well. Jupiter is going to be going forward after, I don't know how many months, at least 3. On the 30th, I think. So that's really huge. It's been in my 12th house, which is actually where it's at in my birth chart. So a lot of like, just kind of like death, a lot of death, a lot of sort of, shift in paradigm, death of the old. So, which, feels collective as well. So, okay, let's see what the tarot has to say with this. I don't know if that card wanted to pop out or not, but I'm going to take it. Okay, let's see. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. All right. Oh, wow. Okay. So we get the Ace of Wands, the 4 of Air, and the Queen of Wands. So this so much feels like the energy to me right now. Like, here's the new path. Here's the new spirit-led path. And here's the Queen of Wands. She's the magnetic force. Like she's in alignment with this you know, this higher path, this new path. This, I always call this my higher timeline card. She's in alignment with this. In fact, she's the one that's drawing it in. The Queen of Wands is very magnetic. She just effortlessly gets, everybody comes to her, everything comes to her. It's just her nature. She has that alignment. She has that candle, the same candle she has. And right in between this is this very cool Four of Air, which is sort of like a healing card. It's very Cancerian, you know, it's pulling back your energy to kind of rest. Look at her in this card. That's exactly how I feel, where I'm just kind of like, oh, hi, hello. Okay, move your little butt. Move your little butt. Oh, she's all wet. She loves water. She like kind of gets in the water bowl. If I have a bath and the bath is almost out, she'll get in the water. She's like a little tiger. But anyway, yeah, just kind of that holding, just kind of holding. But I also feel like this is sort of the energy as well. Like we are being held. There's an energy of like, okay, like this comes out with this. Like spirit has your back. Like, you know, you're being held. You're never alone. You know, it's like we're on the brink of this huge change, which I think we can all kind of feel. Doesn't it feel that way? Where it's like, you know, this is what it feels like. There's all this fiery potential, you know, and just, you know, everything feels like right beyond the veil, like where you could just like reach out and grab it. It's like last time we got the chariot with the gold ring that you reach out and grab because it's time. It's why are you messing with things right now, love? Yeah, it's like that energy is very much right here, and yet we're still in this little bit of a pause, and that was coming up last time too. That stabilizing energy. That's part of why I almost didn't do a reading this week, because it's like, well, the energy feels like kind of similar, but I felt really guided to actually, because I wasn't going to do one, and then all of a sudden the energy was there, so I thought, well, let's just see, let's see what comes through. I could use a little insight as well. Always nice to get through the cards, to tap into the intuition in a way you might not otherwise. But anyway, so just kind of that, just kind of like stabilizing, resting, maybe even resting a bit before this starts to roll, you know. In my life, there are some new projects that I'm collaborating on that seems to be kind of odd timing because I have so much purging, and it's like I'm so in the middle of like that process, and yet there's this new thing coming in, which is very much this energy. It's actually a dance that a woman and I are hosting in the community here, and you know, I've just been preparing music, and it's actually kind of a bigger thing than I thought. I thought it would just be kind of like, oh, word of mouth and no big deal, but we're like doing flyers, and like she's talking about like having it posted on the radio, you know, and I'm just kind of like, oh my God, I'm like, I'm here, you know, I'm here. But anyway, the fact that this energy is, you know, it is coming in and just like rolling with it while we're also kind of like, you know, preparing for it as well. This isn't until next week, the end of next week, so I trust I'll be in this energy by then. But right now it's here, you know, and this showing up collectively as well. So maybe you're relating to that. But let's see what else it wants to say about anything else about that, or go in a different direction. Ace of Pentacles. Okay, yeah, so here's another ace, two aces. You know, this is kind of the spirit-led inspired path, but this is the very much, you know, on the earth grounded path, you know, where you've done the work, and it's landing. You're receiving this gift. And the mother piece, the first deck I ever had, it was like the universe is offering you a gift for the hard work that you've done, you know, or somebody's offering you a gift. They're offering you something, the gift of this, you know, this sort of spirit-led life, which is full of magnetism and vibrancy and flow, and you know, just movement and moving with the spirit, and moving with your guidance, you know. So that really validating that, and just saying that this is, you know, this is a gift that we're receiving. This is a time when this is landing. This coming in, what's coming in, what we're feeling. It's almost like, what are these? Yeah, they're like these. Yeah, okay, so it has roots. Look at this. This gift has roots. It has roots, and it's, you know, it's the seeds that we planted. It's the work that we've been doing. It's the seed that we are, and it's been compressed. That's, you know, grown its roots, and that is cracking above as a gift to ourselves and to the world. So that's beautiful. I wanted to. My cat is. I don't know where she's getting into. So hold on a second. Let me get her. Hey, get down. Get down. Get down. Okay. I have something up there that I don't want her to break. All right, thank you. Okay, so, oh, the Fool, okay. So there's that surrendering energy again. And again, it's like, it's just that message. It might feel a little bit like this, where we're in this sort of like Cancerian energy of just like cozying in and holding in. Meanwhile, all this energy, this other energy is kind of like pressing in on the sides, where it is that compression to that seed that absolutely is popping, and just the surrendering into that, the surrendering into that, even though it feels like this. Yeah, this is a very similar message to last time. Although the last time this cards were kind of darker. It was like we were sort of in, the collective tendency was to be in sort of like a, like a dowdy type of energy, or a darker energy, or just feeling something like, oh no, is something wrong? Now we're just kind of resting, we're kind of resting before things really start to roll, before we like jump off the cliff. It's like we are jumping off that cliff. We are like, okay, I trust this, I know I'm not alone. Spirit has my back. It's like this is all good, and I'm just kind of catching my breath. I'm kind of catching my breath at the top of the hill before it starts to roll. That's really the energy that I'm feeling from these cards, and the energy of them combined. So what else? The Princess of Wands. Okay, so that's the Page of Wands. That's the new adventure. I got this exact same card this morning as well. Yeah, where it's just like a whole new thing. We're embarking on a whole new adventure. To just sort of like, almost, and again, the symbolism of like me getting rid of all this stuff, getting rid of all my books, getting rid of all these remnants of my past, where, it's almost like an identity. That's what I was thinking when I was talking about the Jupiter in my 12th house retrograde. It's like an identity loss, like losing your identity, because you're going on this whole new thing, and you're surrendering. You're going through that ego death. You're surrendering it. This being a very collective movement and energy, and not, again, that like sort of vulnerable in the void place, not really necessarily knowing where you're going, although you may, like me, have snippets of it forming already in your life, feeling the energy of that. But whatever new is propping up in your life, and the energy around that, there might be a feeling of vulnerability. You might be being stretched outside of your comfort zone a little bit, like with me, with all the advertising. Like, I like to just kind of be like invisible and let things go word of mouth, and that is sort of the way I do things. But it's fine to engage in something else as well, and to feel safe and held in that, feel safe and held. But just using that as an example of the energy, if you are stepping outside of your comfort zone, or up leveling some, just trusting that new adventure, trusting it. I'm going to pull a Goddess card. Yeah, and again, just keeps coming back to this change, and Spirit has your back. Like, whatever's going on is part of your journey, part of your evolution, part of your expansion. That was the other card I got this morning, was expansion and trust, and where it's like, it's all good. We can just let go. We can just surrender and allow this adventure to present itself however we want, while we're taking our last sort of like, hold on a minute, yeah, I feel a lot of really big changing energy coming through in general, and these cards are really reflecting that, and getting closer. Like I said last time, the sort of like contrary card was one of sort of like doubt and fear, and this time, just to reiterate, it's one of just resting, and I'll tell you what this card is in a minute. And so I feel like that's part of what this full moon was, just sort of like a closure, a resting, a homing, a sitting with yourself, almost like a wrap up, a wrap up of the year, a wrap up of your identity, a wrap up of what was. And so the next card we get is Miracles, a 31 card, which is interesting, because 31 backwards is 13, which is a divine feminine card, which obviously Mary is part of that, in spades. And so yeah, miracles. And I've been getting this card and energy around this as well. Yeah, the energy of miracles. It's almost like I'm seeing like a little crack through the I don't know what the analogy would be, but I'm getting glimpses. Let's just say I'm getting glimpses in my own life, and in the life of like my daughter in particular, where I'm just seeing that, oh my gosh, and some of the things that are happening in my family, and my family with my kid's dad, and and the kids, and just that whole scene down there, and the desert house that I'm at on the weekends. It's like there's just this whole like next level is what I want to say. There's this next leveling happening where there's just this rippling of surrender and change, which feels I've experienced a lot of miracles in my life, you know, in various ways, and lots of different ways, but also in relationships that you or let's just say, okay, like if you have a certain pattern, or you have a certain way of being, or pattern in your body, or pattern in your mind, or pattern in your relationships or your family that's been like that for like forever, you know, for decades, or for as far back as you can see, and all of a sudden you go through some sort of, you know, change or alchemy within yourself, and then like there's this cyber blast of change in your hologram. That's kind of what I am referring to as a miracle, where patterns that you think are, where you're in that limited thinking and you think this is just the way things are, you know, where all of a sudden it's not, you know, there are like possibilities and things that are happening and things that are unfolding that you would never think, because you're no longer a match to that energy or to that dynamic, you know. So that being, you know, a sort of a mundane example of miracles, but that being true on a broader scale as well, the ways we've gotten used to the things that have been defined for us as possible, whether it's, you know, with our health, or with, you know, the world, or with what we're seeing, and, you know, like all of a sudden we have clairvoyant abilities popping on, you know, and you see things you never knew you could see before. It's like all of a sudden there are things becoming possible that you know, just weren't before, you know, the miracles, because we're reaching into a frequency and a bandwidth where, you know, where we're able to I'm having trouble finding my words today, because I'm here, which is kind of why I didn't want to come on, but I felt to, so I'm just gonna trust it's okay. But anyway, you know, we're in this new, you know, this new frequency. The things that weren't possible before are now. We're going to see, I'm really feeling to say that we're going to see more and more and more of that, and that which appears miraculous, you know, and kind of like dumping the whole old paradigm, just like I'm dumping my whole old life by dumping all my stuff, you know, even going through the clothes. Like, I remember when I went through this phase and I like to dress like this, and remember all those festivals or whatever it was, or I wore this, and, you know, and just kind of like shedding all these, you know, past versions of ourselves, right? Okay. And just coming into a completely different expression, experiencing things that we didn't think were possible. Okay, so again, that full card, I don't know if I'm really capturing the energy that I'm trying to say, because again, I'm having trouble with my words, but it's like what we're experiencing on the other side of this rest and this pause is going to look miraculous, because we're in a new bandwidth, a new frequency bandwidth, and so things that were not possible before are possible now. Okay, so I think that that's really relating to this sort of like moving forward, taking risks, and just sort of surrendering to life, because spirit has your back, and not viewing anything through the lens of the old. You know, all that stuff you threw in the trash, or took to the Goodwill, or donated to the stores, you know, the bookstores, you know, it's like, it's gone. So we're starting at the 0 point fresh field, which is also a very Cancerian energy, you know, like being in the void, being in that mother space where, you know, you just kind of let it all go. You don't really, you know, you let the identity go. Yeah, there's a lot coming through with this reading about letting the old identity go. We're embarking on a new adventure, trusting that it's all going to come through us as we need it. We were talking a lot earlier about codes, our dormant codes that have been activating, and how as we start to live in these higher frequencies, they're just going to come through when we need them, and that we can surrender to that and allow our higher selves, allow these higher frequencies to work through us. So there's that surrender as well. We're not living from the headspace anymore. We're not living from the past. We're living in the moment, in this eternally new adventure, allowing these miracles to unfold before our eyes, and expanding us more and more and more. Okay, stepping into this new energy, this new terrain. 18 minutes. I'm going to pull from the Tarot of the Hidden Realm. Oh, okay, cool. So, yeah, so the Three of Pentacles, so this is my soul contract card, my soul family card, where we're working on something together. You know, we're all kind of building a different piece. You know, we're all bringing our different pieces together. So this message hasn't come up in a little while, but I love that it's coming up now. So whereas we're all kind of like preparing and just sort of like resting a little bit before this new adventure, and this sort of like surrender, the Fool card being a surrender, a letting go, a diving in, you know, getting rid of all your stuff, you know, throwing just what you need in a knapsack and jumping off that cliff, you know, where the miraculous unfolds, being held in the arms of, you know, the truth of reality, the truth of that everything is love. You know, you are never alone. You know, there's that love that's surrounding us on the earth plane, the six, on the earth plane, in our manifestations. I don't really like that word. In our expressions of our higher frequency playing out in the physical realm as a reflection of that inner alignment. Okay, as we're doing that, as we're all doing that in our individual way, we're actually building heaven on earth. You know, we're each bringing our own unique piece, in collaboration with our soul family, whether it's conscious and whether we're, you know, working on a project together, you know, to offer, you know, to the community or whatever, or that, and, you know, just doing our own pieces, each of us doing our own pieces, you know, we're contributing. Oh, okay. I guess that's like a tool that's like, you know, something he's using to pound the metal, but it almost looked like a monolith to me. It looked like a sacred site, which, you know, just that association, you know, again, like the oneness of everything, you know, the oneness of the grids on the earth, the oneness of the, you know, grids in our bodies, the oneness of the alignments in the stars. And there's all these pigeons flying outside my window. Yeah, and just how just that message that came through and seeing it that way of, you know, like everything being connected, you know, everything being connected and everything that we're doing contributing to the whole. Okay, so secret language of light oracle. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, a lot of the cards I got this morning we're getting now for collective. So here is the other card I was talking about, expansion. So yeah, that's what this is about. We're expanding beyond our what was known, you know, beyond our past identity, beyond everything we accumulated around us to define our identity. It's all gone. Using myself as an example, it's all gone. You know, now we're just expanding into something completely different, and we can surrender to that. And again, you know, just that same message. So that's really beautiful. I am going to pull Ascended Master card. Let's see who fell out here. This card is so old. Kind of funny and stuck together. But yeah, so, oh, Archangel Michael. Look, Archangel Michael, you can do it. Notification there. You can do it. And the colors here, yeah, and the colors here as well. So the blues and the purples, but the expansion, it's like we're going outside of our comfort zones. We're going outside, we're going beyond. That's what I'm really feeling from this energy. We're on the brink of going beyond, going further than collectively humanity than we've ever gone before. So this is clear and shield your energy, El Moria. Okay, so clear and shield your energy. Yeah, exactly. It's like, well, this is sort of speaks to me of like clearing out your energy, but like clearing out everything, like clearing out relationships, clearing out your house, clearing out your mind, clearing out the patterns of thought, like clearing out everything, and then your energy, and saging your house, and taking time to, you know, get into nature, or, you know, get into natural frequencies that help you clear and align so that you can be in touch with, you know, what's true and what's really being birthed and what's really emerging right now. Okay. And of course, Archangel Michael, you know, Archangel Michael and Mother Mary, you know, it's like just that, again, Spirit has your back and you are never alone. You know, it's like there's a lot of support. There's a lot of support. We can think of it that way if we, of course, you know, there's a lot of support, but, you know, if you want to individualize it into our Ascended Masters or Archangels, or, you know, beings of light energies, and you know, signatures, energy signatures that are supportive, that you relate to and call on. And then we can also think of it as what I was talking about. I don't remember where. Oh yeah, with this and the earth grids, and, you know, the oneness, you know, the alignments, and, you know, everything being one, right? We're always supported because everything is one movement, is one movement. You know, we think we're separate. We can live as we're separate. You know, we can take these breaks and kind of feel like, you know, as we wrap up separation consciousness and move into this unity field, you know, where we're held by everything. We're held by everything. You know, in some ways, I often feel like to separate it out into specific energies is also sort of separate. Like as we continue to expand, it's like, you know, kind of just leaning into the energetic signature of the truth of reality, which is oneness and love, and, you know, everything feeling like this. You don't have to separate it out into something outside of yourself that's helping you. You just merge with it, you know. You merge with that unity field, and that's what I'm really feeling, that humanity being at the brink. And you know, some people, depending on your level of consciousness and the level of shadow work that you've done, your soul age, and you know, yeah, what you've done in your past and what you signed up to do. You know, some people feeling that sooner, or being at the cutting edge of it, or being more conscious of it. But that these energies really being what this time is about, and this being, you know, the cutting edge energy. So all of this, again, kind of like last time, you know, all of the energies we're talking about forward movement this time, they're all kind of, to me, they're really feeling like being on the brink of this change. This is the only card that's not. It's the only card. It's just that little bit of pause beforehand, and really feeling the ball rolling. But again, that beautiful message of all of us doing this together. Again, all of us doing it together. You know, you're never alone. This being a very unified field, you know, of expansion. All of humanity expanding, all of the earth consciousness, all of the cosmos, all of the, you know, everything beyond. And the importance of energy too, you know, the importance of knowing the difference between what is the society and the hijack and the lower realm, and what hooks you up to this expansion and to the unified field. So, you know, certain frequencies, nature, natural things, natural foods, you know, balancing your day between, you know, technology and something earth plane, you know, getting on the earth, or tending to your home, or like talking to a person in real life, or, you know, whatever it is, just like balancing everything so that you can stay in touch, you know, you can stay in touch with this energy, which has such a driving, again, supportive force right now, and making sure that we're not, that we're tapping into it, you know, that we're taking the time to, again, you know, clear and make sure that we're aligned with it, right? And using our conscious choice to make that the priority, because that really is how we get onto this, we get to experience, you know, this new adventure of what it's like to live, you know, these higher frequencies. And again, so much support in that. So, okay, I'm at 26 minutes. I'm going to see if there's any cards that I didn't pull from. I think I pulled from them all. So I'm just going to do one last card. The goddess cards are what's popping out at me. So one last card in closing. Okay. Let's see. Flow. I got this card this morning too. I just pick like one card from, like, not all my decks, but a few of them, maybe like 5 of them, and just to get a feel for where I'm at. But it's crazy. Like, this is another one that I got, Ria Flow. So there it is again. It's like, you know, spirit has your back, your higher self has your back, your higher aspects, the part of you that's already fully connected to this, fully connected to the unity and the collaboration, you know, the oneness, you know, letting it all flow through you, surrendering, letting it all flow through you, letting it guide you on this new adventure, trusting, surrendering, and, you know, even while we're in this little bit of pause, that's why I feel this message is really coming through really strongly, because in this bit of a pause, it can be kind of like, oh, you know, we just kind of want to like stay back and huddle up, and, you know, a lot of us are, especially in a Cancer full moon energy, but even while this is happening, to know that, you know, there is something to be surrendering into, and that even surrendering into this is surrendering into it, because this is what's up right now. You know, this is kind of like the primary move, you know, the primary thing that we're surrendering to is this sort of like self-holding, you know, self-holding, and just allowing yourself to feel kind of vulnerable, allowing yourself to feel that pregnant pause, you know, beforehand, and honoring that as well, because it's just, it's in the center of this entire reading, you know, and it's definitely the energy that I'm feeling, although I'm also feeling all of this as well, you know. So really cool that that so many of the cards, you know, 3 of them, as well as, you know, a very similar message. I think did I get miracles as well? Did I get miracles today? I did recently. Anyway, a lot of the same message. So obviously it's collective movement, and fun to look into it, and fun to have that little bit of guidance and reassurance. I hope it was helpful to you if you were feeling a little of that, like, Cancer, like, blah, you know, just feeling all this powerful energy behind us, and the reminder, you know, that there is a great time of expansion right now, and to really surrender and allow that rebirth, that death and rebirth, to go the whole way through, and allow ourselves to be transformed and to start to experience miracles. So it feels really close. I feel like with this message, it's really close, even from, you know, a week we're moving in. I mean, just look at this. Look at these energies. Feel into this. It's like this is it. this is where we're at. You know, this is where humanity is at. I don't know if that's transmitting to you the what it is to me, but just really, really powerful. So anyway, thank you for listening, and thank you for being here, and much blessings on your journey. And I'll see you next time if I do. Okay, bye bye.